In Battle Nations, the vast majority of battles take place on land. From beginning to end, the vast majority of the campaign and majority of missions take place on soil. Whether it's infantry, a big tank, or some abomination from the Battle Nations wilderness, it is probably going to take place on soil. However, that would change near the end of the game's lifecycle when they added version 4.5 and would add naval. And of course, while we would get Captain Pike and two very cool bosses, that doesn't include the last area of Battle Nations battle. In fact, an area added even before it in version 3.0, along with boss strikes. And that, of course, is glorious Battle Nations aircraft. While not longer with us in Madrona Games Battle Nations as I'm currently recording this, it is confirmed to be coming back. And that begs the question, what is Battle Nations aircraft going to look like when it comes back? And that's what we're going to be attempting to answer today. We're going to be covering the 3 most likely ways Battle Nations aircraft comes back in Madrona Games Battle Nations, starting off with the least likely and ending off with what I believe to be the most likely way they come back, at least initially. And before we jump into these 3 routes, of course, just want to say this is all my personal opinion. Could totally be wrong here. Could totally be none of these 3, but in my opinion, I do believe it's going to be one of these 3. But just wanted to clarify, it's certainly not set in stone. You can certainly disagree. I wanted to ask what you guys think of these 3. Please let me know it down in the comments below. Let me know if you guys like this type of content. And of course, if you need a guild, please check the comments below and the description down below for joining the Empire. We would love to have you. We have competitive and casual options available to all players. And with all that being said, let's jump right into the list, starting off with number 1, the airport. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. The airport would simply be a building, a brand new building in Battle Nations where you craft aircraft. Now, this has never existed in Battle Nations. Something like an airport or a place you would build aircraft, let's say a hangar, let's say an industrial complex, whatever you want to call it, has never existed in Battle Nations. You've never had the option to make aircraft in Battle Nations. Again, besides this thing, which I don't count as an aircraft. You know what? We'll count it as the technical category. The best kind of technical, but still technically an aircraft. But as far as real aircraft go, yes, you have never been able to craft real aircraft in Battle Nations. So that begs the question, how do you get it? Well, you can only really get it through challenges like boss strikes or special events, and while sometimes it was repeated, normally it was only through certain timed events. This would throw all of that out the window. In this case, you would be able to train your own aircraft, getting as much as you want within its own building. Now, this building would probably be mid to maybe even late game because, oh my goodness, imagine being able to train aircraft. Early on, it would be broken, and even mid-game, I would argue, would be way too good. Probably something like TF2 is today. So I believe it would have to be mid to probably more later game to actually be more balanced. But as far as the concept, I think it would be okay. I do not believe we will see it though, simply because Madrona Games is more trying to reestablish what the game was rather than trying to go off and branch in their own things. They will make adjustments, but this would be something out of blue, something we've never seen before. I really don't see that in the style of Madrona. Could totally be wrong here, as a lot of people do suggest airports, but I just don't see it. So while this is definitely a competitor, I say bronze for likely to happen, I just don't see it, but had to include it in this list for sure. Moving right into number 2, what I believe to be the not most likely, but definitely probable, we have aircraft become regular premium units able to be crafted in the dry docks and in the vehicle factory. Now, I don't believe this is the case, but I certainly see this as more possible than just a completely brand new building. So basically imagine you would just go into your vehicle factory, your dry docks, heck, maybe even your barracks, and you would just see aircraft. You would see the Hurricane. You would see the beautiful Z2 bomber. You would see any of these beautiful bad boys, right? And you would be able to train them. Now, most of them would probably be nano units, aka premium units. Now, that would just be for balancing, and that would also be to keep the, allure and luster, I would say, of aircraft. However, some of them could also probably be free, as if you made every single aircraft cost nanopods, that might cause a bit of an upset. So you could certainly see some weaker aircraft. Think of the attack drone, basically just a drone aircraft. Think of the Hurricane, one of the weaker airplanes. And think of the Dust Cropper. Ooh, yeah, that guy. Think of all of these bad boys, right? All of them could become basically resources, high-end resources, steel, maybe a good bit of gold, some gears, bars, but nevertheless, you still can train them for regular resources. And then the higher-ups, the previous tier 10s, tier 7s, they can all be nano exclusives. So again, I don't think this is as likely as number one, but still definitely possible because this is just a small tweak to the game. They're already confirmed they're going to be doing stuff like this. Think about how they removed the resource depot, completely removed it from the game, which, let's be honest, is completely improved the game. That's one more population for every single area of our base that we now have more of. Great, more population the better, right? At least in my opinion. So certainly happy with that. And then other changes like they've already confirmed the medium tank, which is already currently a nanopod unit and always has been, is no longer going to be such. And this is to make it more competitive with stuff like the super tank, which is right around the same level and is much stronger than the medium tank. So just to keep it viable in the meta. And yeah, I think doing something like this with aircraft could be argued to be the same thing. Again, it's not as big as a whole building, but much more likely in my opinion. So yeah, had to include this as, in my opinion, the silver second most likely option they add in Battle Nations. And finally, for first place gold, what I believe to be the most likely option for bringing back aircraft in Madrona Games Battle Nations, what I believe they will end up doing, or what I honestly also kind of hope they end up doing, is they bring back aircraft for the first boss strike and keep it exclusive to boss strikes. Now, this is how aircraft was bought back. This is how we got the first aircraft. This is how aircraft stayed for the longest time, at least for me. This is a hallmark of aircraft. It was exclusive to boss strikes. I mean, think of tier 3, tier 7, tier 10. What do all of those tiers have in common? I know what I sure know. All of them normally gave out planes. And that was just known. That was one of those cool things about Battle Nations. One of the things just like the Wimp being terrible until he's certainly not terrible. And then also nanopods being the best designed premium currency of all time. Still just a proven fact. But point being is, this in my opinion is just the most likely, most straightforward, and honestly the best. It's what Battle Nations used to be. It would totally line up to what Madrona Games is doing, which is just restoring what Battle Nations used to be, reestablishing it in its former glory, because let's be honest, OG peak Battle Nations just triumphs everything else on the Apple and Google Play Store right now by a mile. It's not even close. So yeah, if they did this and just restored Battle Nations with level 70, everything else, man, I think we are so set for an absolute golden age of Battle Nations, a complete renaissance. So beyond bullish on this game, and I would love to see this actually happen. But yeah, that's kind of where I ended off on. Just wanted to say these top 3 real quick in this really weird edited video. It's kind of new for me, but if you guys like it, I can certainly make more like it. Just wanted to try out new things, see if you guys like it, because we can. Would like to make these videos, of course, get better and better as time goes on. So thank you so much if you made it to the end. I greatly appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider dropping a like down below and subscribing to the channel if you are new. If you also enjoyed today's video, please consider dropping a comment. What'd you think of it? Did you see, the way you think aircraft will come back? Do you think aircraft will come back? I think aircraft probably will come back the way we remembered it. Maybe not. Maybe aircraft will be completely different. Maybe it won't even be one of these 3. Would love to have a civil discussion with you in the comments down below. As long as it's Battle Nations, as long as it's respectful to all parties, I would love to have that. And yeah, guys, that will just about do it. Of course, again, just want to say one more time, if you're in need of the guild, please consider checking out the Empire down below. It's in the description. We have our Discord server linked. And even if you're already in a guild, we would love to have you as a visitor just to check out. We have a lot of other guilds in there, from envoys just to people checking it out, wanting to get a peek in, look at what it's like. We would love to have you as a member, but if you're already in a guild, perfectly fine. We would love to have you as a visitor. And yeah, guys, that will do it for us today. Again, thank you very much for watching this new type of video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, have a great rest of your day.